After your boyfriend offered to clean you up, you happily said yes. But Captain Levi didn't really mean he would clean you himself. He only meant to help you by getting some water from the well. Dirty thoughts consumed your mind. Your wet dream about Levi washing you with his hands made your body shivered in excitement. You couldn't help but press your hands against your cheeks, trying to control your brain to daydream more. The captain, who was always composed, started sweating upon seeing you smiling creepily with a strange aura around you. He also noticed your urgency to reach your tiny home. Upon reaching your home, you immediately set out your plan. You leisurely undid your ponytail and slowly let it fall to the ground to make it more look seductive. The man behind you slightly widened his eyes because of your sudden boldness. Well, he asked for the real you and you were just simply giving it to him. You slowly turned around and noticed his already wide eyes to wide more. You smirked proudly because of it. Meanwhile, Captain Levi was having difficulty understanding you since a while ago. You were openly seducing him, though he wasn't complaining, but the fact that your nose was bleeding really bothered him. "Are you okay?" he asked, reaching you, and tracing the corner of your nose bleeding with his thumb. You frowned, thinking that your sex appeal didn't work that well. Wondering if you have to do something more extreme. "Fine. Let's do more." You were about to undo the ribbon of your clothes when you saw his thumb with blood. "What is that?" you said while your eyes widened in horror. You reached for your nose and found out that you were clearly bleeding. You quickly concluded that it was because of your pervert thoughts and nothing else. But your boyfriend thought otherwise. Captain Levi, who was sickly worried about you, immediately tended you with a clean cloth. You held his hand to stop him, but his grip was really hard. "It's fine. It was just blood," you complained, trying to convince him, but his attention was really focused on your bleeding nose. You screamed in your mind, scolding yourself why you had to do it right now, in this very moment. "Do you want me to bring you to a doctor?" Levi asked, worried sick. "Just bring me to bed. That is all I need," you begged desperately, but Levi clearly misunderstood it. He gently caressed the hair obstructing your eyes. "Okay. So you can rest." You gritted your teeth. You wanted to tell him that all your body needed right now was to get laid, but all your efforts were useless. He was completely focused on your health now. Your eyes glistened. Many thoughts running in your mind, like you breed horse, cow, pig, and chicken, yet you couldn't get yourself pregnant. "Wyan, come to bed now." With a hiss, you snapped his hand away from you. Irritated and disappointed, you walked away to your kitchen to clean your nose. Levi, who was left dumbfounded, tried to fully understand your sudden change of mood. All he knew was when a woman has mood swings, they had period. But your case was different. You were bleeding in your nose, not in that certain part of your body. Feeling a bit troubled at the sight of you walking away from him, he tried to follow you to the kitchen but was stopped by a certain annoying animal in your home. "She's just horny. She's just horny." The captain turned his head to look at your bird, confused if the bird actually said what he had heard. "Excuse me." The bird suddenly sung a song, but Levi couldn't actually say if it was a song or what, but the melody was good. "I love Captain even though I sweat a lot, I stink a lot. I love Captain even though I fart a lot, I poop a lot." Levi stared at the bird for soundless 5 seconds until a small chuckle escaped his lips, unable to suppress it anymore. Meanwhile, you were silently crying in the kitchen. Your day practically went from good to bad and good again and worst again. Wondering if you have hidden birthmark on your butt cheek. But your desire to suddenly melt into darkness vanished when you heard something weird in the living room. Slowly, you took a peek what was happening in the living room. Your eyes got bigger when you saw Captain Levi's lips were bent upwards. He was smiling. You gasped, shoving your face closer to the hole on the door of your kitchen to get a better view. Your heart fluttered but quickly shattered after realizing whom you owed that sweetest smile. Your face went blank. You slowly opened your door and your bird immediately snapped his head towards you. The captain swore that he saw the bird turned white despite its colorful feathers. He followed its gaze and found you in the door of the kitchen. Shadow covered your eyes. He could practically feel the deadly aura surrounding you. The bird, who was smart enough to save his life, immediately sung a song, but this time it was a better version. She beautiful inside and out. Marry her, you gonna sleep better. Marry her, you'll live longer. Your face quickly lit up and now in a shade of pink. You couldn't help but smile and giggle in such compliment. Good job. Remind me to give you some special seeds later, Law. Biting your thumbnail, you playfully walked towards Captain Levi. Don't mind the bird. He was just telling the truth. Hope you don't mind. At first, Captain Levi was having fun seeing you happy until you started hitting him in the arm. Grinning and blushing, you couldn't suppress your emotions from bursting anymore. Your boyfriend started to sweat again, watching you slowly losing your head. Wondering if he fell in love with a very strange woman. So what do you think? Do you think we can get married soon? You murmured, but Levi couldn't quite understand it. It was more giggles than words. You were still hitting him. Thank goodness he's the humanity's strongest, or else his arm might fall off. Even the bird squinted his eyes to you, wondering if you just sniffed your own fart again. You only calmed down when Levi cleared his throat. I think you should get clean. Your grin suddenly melted from your face. Disappointment welled inside your heart. It was good 10 seconds straight before you looked down at yourself. Your forehead cringed in disgust. You were a completely piece of crap with all the dried mud in your clothes and arms. Captain Levi was known for being a clean freak. You almost hit yourself for not realizing it now. You concluded that the reason why he was repeatedly refusing you was because you were stinky. Everything made sense now. Of course. You suddenly exclaimed, that made Levi jolted a little and your sudden changed of mood again. You sprinted to the bathroom and quickly took a bath. Upon realizing that you didn't bring some clothes with you, you stared at a white towel hanging not far from you. You have to walk across your living room to reach your room. Oh my God! An evil grin shone in your lips. Your inner self was screaming wildly in your head. This time you would do it right and smooth. Captain Levi would never refuse anymore. You came out from the shower with a towel on and water still dripping from your hair. You gracefully tiptoed your way to your room. Of course it wasn't your plan to go to your room. Your plan was to get noticed. But your faith had other plans for you. Everything happened in slow motion. Your feet slipped and you stumbled to the ground lying face down. You tried to push yourself up, but you saw your naked chest. Captain Levi hardened in his spot the moment you stepped out from the bathroom. He must confess you looked really sexy. The towel around your body was perfectly fit. Then you slipped lying face down. He wanted to help you up, but his feet was bolted to the ground upon seeing the towel around you was now completely gone. You turned red and your arms instinctively covered your chest. Your gaze immediately darted to Levi, who was staring at you with wide eyes. Captain, don't look. You whined in protest. Levi quickly shifted his eyes anywhere but you. His mouth set in a hard line, but a shade of pink appeared on his cheeks. But one thing he just couldn't understand. Earlier you were desperately trying to get naked in front of him, and now that you were completely naked you told him to look away. Sorry. He mumbled, scratching his cheek. Maybe, just maybe, you decided to be a real lady this time. You took the towel and swiftly put it on again. Now that your plan was completely shattered, you finally decided to call it a day. After all, you could just grab him anytime you want because he was your boyfriend now. Your inner self was poking your lower abdomen with the thought. Just as when you were about to go inside your room, you felt a grip on your arm. Your heart literally stopped for a second. A warm breath sent shivers through your body. It was torturous 5 seconds until the captain finally broke the silence. Do you want to do it? You froze and couldn't look at him. You didn't expect that this was how it works. What should I do? What should I do? All of a sudden, your dirty plans and all your wet dreams about this very moment quickly vanished. You didn't know now what to do. Should you just lay on bed and spread your legs and let him do all the right things? Or you need to do something too to make it more romantic. You wanted to hit yourself for not being prepared. Captain Levi knew your pure innocence took over you and he had to make the first move. He turned your body around to face him and both your eyes locked at each other's. There was an unexplainable thing in his eyes. He was panting and clenching his jaw. His grip becoming hard each second passed. Am I going to lose it today? His eyes shifted down to your lips and back to your eyes again, asking for permission, but before you could react or say something ridiculous that might ruin the mood, he grabbed your face and kissed you, really hard. You closed your eyes and found yourself returning the kiss. Lips, tongue and teeth, trying to sink in. The captain happily welcomed your body, slightly grinding him. He pinned you against the wall with your hands above your head. His mouth slowly traveled to your neck and took his time in a particular spot. You finally let a small moan when his hand grabbed your thigh, trying to lift your leg. Just as when he was about to flick the towel off from your body, something happened, again. But this time you weren't the only one who complained. Your cow shamelessly barged into your door and made a complete mess around. The final stroke was when he squeezed through between you and Levi. The captain took a step back from you, clearly not happy for interrupting him. What the hell is wrong with your farm animals? He finally said, face went blank. What about a steak for dinner? You totally agreed. You stared at each other until both of you suddenly burst into laughter. Now that the mood was completely shattered, both of you just shared the happiness brought by your stupid cow and all your farm animals. Captain Levi scanned the place around and his nose crinkled in disgust. Your house is full of mess. Why don't you dress up while I clean this place? You gulped. Well, that was hot. You, the humanity's strongest soldier and the love of my life, will clean my room. I am completely confused whether to feel honored or horny. Levi suddenly flicked your forehead. Save it for later. I have a house to clean, he said, with a wink. That wink sent naughty feeling inside you. Can't wait. You were about to enter your room when Levi stopped you. We don't need to rush things. A line appeared between your eyebrows. You tilted your head in confusion. I want to marry you first, then we can do all those naughty things afterwards. Suddenly, a romantic song played in your head. Petals slowly falling from above, making the scene more romantic. You didn't know what to feel. Everything happened so fast. Not an hour ago, he only came here for 50 horses, and then he confessed, you almost do the nasty, and now he was proposing. Are you asking me to marry you? You asked, trying to clear if he really meant what he said. Yes. What do you say? You jumped to hug really tight. Your legs around his waist. How can I refuse? Yes. Captain Levi pulled you for another kiss this time. It was passionate.